back to the channel. If you are new here, this place is where we break down the complex world of MEP and commissioning into real actionable field action knowledge. Today we are tackling a massive point of confusion on construction sites. If you walk into any site office, you are going to hear two job titles thrown constantly around you: the MEP site engineer and the commissioning authority. To the untrained eye, they seem to be exactly the same thing. They both wear hard hats, look at MEP drawings, and test equipment. But in reality, their mission, their bosses, and their metrics for success are completely opposite. If you don't understand the breakdown or difference, your project is going to experience serious delays, communication breakdowns, and budgets blown. Let's break it down. To understand why we have two separate entities on site, we have to look at the difference between them that builds the building and the independent team that validates that everything actually works under real world scenarios. Let's start with MEP site engineer. This person is the boots on the ground, the execution machine. They are hired directly by MEP contractors or general contractors. Their primary mission is build it right. They have to take 2D drawings, coordinate physical spaces in shafts, ceilings, purchase massive equipment pieces, manage them, subcontractor crews, manage the subcontractors, physically install everything according to the approved design and local codes. For the site engineer, success is all about the volume, schedule, and budget. If they install, for example, 500 VAVs boxes on time, within budget, and pass the local code inspector visual checks, they have done their job. They want to get the equipment secured, wired up so they can move to the next phases. On the other hand, now let's look at the commissioning authority role. Notice that the title change, they are an authority. What that typically means, they are typically a third party consultant hired directly by the owner. They do not work for the contractor. And why? Because the owner needs an unbiased set of eyes. It is just like that. The owner is on the site, and with the technical knowledge, he is overseeing the sites. He is overseeing the faults, the shortcomings on the sites, and asking contractor to rectify that. The CxA mission is not did you build, but rather does it actually work efficiently? They are checking the system against the owner project requirements. Actually, owner project requirements are a document which I used this terminology in my previous video for better understanding. Once again, I will rephrase that. Owner project requirements is a document in which the requirements and what the building or the facility looks like, how it behaves, is documented and shared to the contractor in the bidding phase, so that the building remains as intended. So while the site engineer is happy that a pump physically turns on, the CxA is asking, does this pump modulate speed correctly when the cooling load decreases? Does it talk to the building management system? Does it shut down instantly during a fire alarm test? Success of CxA is about dynamic performance, system integration, and long-term operating efficiency. So we can uh, understand in a better way when somebody asks you what exactly a CxA and site engineer is doing through a medical analogy. Think of a surgeon and the doctor. So MEP site engineer acts as a surgeon. They construct, they assemble, they connect all the physical element inside the space with incredible precision. So they get the system up and running. While the commissioning authority is the specialist doctor. They do not perform surgery. Rather, the doctor does not this doctor does not perform, the commissioning authority doctor does not perform the surgery. Rather, once the patient is closed up, after surgery, they run the comprehensive metabolic tests, check the lung capacity, for example, check and monitor the heart rate under stress. They ensure that all those organs are talking to each other and working as a single healthy organism. You need both to survive. So let's dig deep here. Let's look at how this plays out in terms of contracts and documentation. First, look at the reporting lines. The site engineer reports to general contractor. They are driven by construction schedule. So he works according to a schedule and is responsible to the contractor. While the CxA directly reports to the owner, this independence is critical because if contractor makes a mistake, the CxA must be free to report it without fear of getting fired by the contractor. Second, their reference points are different. Site engineer builds based on approved for construction drawings, while the CxA measure against the OPR, what the owner actually expects building to do. Finally, the documents they produce are differ. The contractor produces physical records like pipe pressure, logs, and as-built layouts, while the CxA produces the commissioning plan, the dynamic issue log, and the final system manual. So once again you will come to a question that why it matters a site installation engineer can build and hand over, but in surveys in the impact of CxA globally is 15% in energy saving. So why does this distinction matter is to the owner, but is bottom line that it's simple. Commissioning buildings saves around 15% in actual energy cost due to CxA, presence of CxA. A site engineer might turn on the chiller, verify it gets cold, and check that the box, but CxA spend hours in calibrating the exact logic loops, making sure the sensors are perfectly aligned, walls close fully when they are supposed to, and the fans don't run at 100% capacity when the building is empty. This prevents performance drift, saves hundreds of thousands of dollars, and over the lifetime of the facility, it converts into energy savings, performance optimization, like that things. So here we have different objectives for site installation engineer and CxA. So to make this work to make alignment of these two positions, To make this work, these two professionals must align across the project life cycle. The project life cycle is the design phase, the construction phase, the testing phase, and the occupancy phase. The design phase, the CxA is writing the commissioning rules and specs. The site engineer uses this time to plan the equipment spaces. In construction phase, the site engineer physically installs the equipment while the CxA checks in periodically, doing static walkdowns, checking pre-commissioning checklist, checking quality, like that. During testing commissioning phase, this is the peak collaboration of the site engineer and the CxA. The site engineer and vendor physically operates the equipment while the CxA directs and witnesses the stress testings according to the scripts. And during the occupancy phase, the site engineer completes physical cosmetic fixes while the CxA compiles the system manuals and ensures the operation staff is fully trained to manage the system. If you are working on the site, here are 3 things you must do to ensure that these two roles collaborate smoothly instead fighting against each other. First, embrace the interlocking system coordination. Make sure electrical, mechanical, and control contractors sit in same room early. Second, treat the CxA issue log as a helpful task list. CxA issue log is the log where CxA identifies the shortcomings in the installations and he notifies to the contractor that these are the shortcomings and needed to be rectified. So this log should not be treated as a bottleneck or hindrance by the general contractor. So as this log is helpful task list, that not a penalty card. It's a tool to get the thing fixed before handover. Third, focus heavily on comprehensive operation training. Don't just hand over the facility to the operation a box of loose manuals. Ensure they understand how the system interacts dynamically. So I am open to the Q&A session. If you have any questions, I'm open to just write down in the comment box. I will happy to answer that. Thank you very much.